Hello everybody, my name is Zeluna and welcome back to the channel, and today I wanted to share a victory as well as a good way to earn dried leaves, because if you remember in the last video I made, I talked about how I was trying to get the last 3 classes and it was such a bitch to get dried leaves, because you could only earn them like 150 at a time. Well, since I got tired of grinding the damn weekly extreme dungeon to try and get things, I went to the dungeon known as Universe. This one. Let me just give you a heads up, this one is the biggest bitch of a dungeon I have ever done. It is hell. And I can show you why right here. The fact that they increase the cooldowns, you gain less XP, all of these damn effects you're seeing on screen. Oh my hell. It takes so much to be able to stay up with it. And if you want to do a leaderboard run, you better have Eternal Dark, because you are not going to even be able to attempt that kind of run without one. And I did take a bunch of curses when I did it, and I am happy to say that for my first time ever in my history of playing this game, I made it. I am in the top 10 of the royalty right here. This was my class, and this was my build. I don't know if it'll allow us to see my items. Nope, no it won't. Oh well. Either way, yes, I did have to use ED for it, because I got so pissed off at trying this dungeon without it, that I finally just said to hell with it, and did it. However, upon doing it and completing it, it gave me over 3,000 dried leaves. As you can see, that is a good amount. And I also got about 3,000 soul stones, as well as a bunch of other things as well. I think I also got like about 1,000 frags of death, and I also got these other weird things that I don't fully know what they are. They're like 1,000 of something. Let me look in here, maybe it has something to do with this stuff. I don't need the bubble. Oh, I guess not. What is this then? It's like 1,000 goop or something. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go find this. Just give me 1 second. Right back. I did locate what it was. It was those suit antique things that you're seeing on screen right now. These little things all the way down here. Now, I have no idea what these are even for. I didn't do a quick look around to see if I could find it. I couldn't find anything. I mean, I'll look around a bit further after I'm done recording. But if you know what they're for, please leave a comment down below and let me know. Because I have no idea what these would be for. I've never even seen these before. Even the image for them, I can't really describe the image because I already collected it. But I mean, I don't fully know what they're for. So if you know what I need to use them for, let me know down below. I'll highlight it so that others can know. That way, you know, we can all at least share some knowledge here. One other thing I do want to show is the build that I used. It was a standard reroll build, one you've probably seen me use before. Now the reason why I used Frenzy this time is I've started to realize that Frenzy is amazing. Especially for the higher tier dungeons. Even without Eternal Dark in that, I will normally use Frenzy, and then for a contract, I will normally either use Benefit of Faith or Benefit of the Moon. The reason being is it has willpower on it. And with willpower, you can control yourself, and you gain the bonuses without the negatives. It just makes it a whole ton easier. So, it is really nice. Now, as far as a normal amulet, this one, obviously, with this build, I did go with an attack, because she doesn't get a basic 0 cooldown attack. And because I was able to get penetration, I was using legendary for most of the run through, but I swapped it to pen, realizing that a lot of the bosses have, like, god amounts of fucking barriers. Now, Plunging Slash is another one that I do really like. One of my favorite moves in the game is definitely Sword Dance, but on a lot of classes, unless you're doing like a Tempest build, I wouldn't really advise it. A Tempest Ninjutsu build, because that way you can actually use it. I mean, one of the classes I found it to be the best on was the Fierce God, and it wasn't even due to its power, it was mainly due to me finding a stunning one, and I managed to just put 8 cooldowns on the opponent without even having to really do anything. It could just smack them, and because it hits 4 times, it just stacks that many. And the next one being, where is it? There it is, Majestic Bloodline. That's another one I do put on quite often, as well as Noble Slash if I'm using a strength class and I think I need a highly accurate, high damaging ability. Those would be, in my opinion, the best amulets to throw on your classes. But I'd also like to know what you guys think if you have better ideas for some amulets to use as well. I have been using pretty much all these different classes as well while I've been experimenting, so that I can work on a tier list instead of just doing all the classes at once. I am about halfway through a single one, replaying a bunch of them as well. I'm mainly not using any of the items except for like pretty much Kinton Gold. I'm not really even using the lab, and if the class can't make it to about floor 10 pretty consistently, I'm doing normally about 3 to 5 run-throughs with a class. But with that said, normally it's without the lab. If we can't make it to at least Karma without the lab, then usually I will throw some abilities on there. I won't give them my most powerful, I won't give them a legendary or anything. Usually it's just a slight health buff or something like that, depending on what they are. If they need the shield buff, maybe I'll give them a shield buff or whatever. Parry buff, something like that. Just the smaller little things, sometimes just gambling, and that's about it. Or sometimes it's just a matter of changing the contract to an actual contract that participates in the fighting, such as the Benefit of the Moon. As far as taking items go, it mainly will depend on the dungeon. Like, since we were doing the tier list on Labyrinth first, which, trust me, future tier lists, when we do them, will come out much faster. The only reason this one's taking so long is there were classes that I didn't have. I knew how they worked, I had seen them used, I had heard about them, I had read about them, I fought them, but I didn't have much of an interest in using them. But because someone asked me to make a tier list, I told them yes, and you better believe I'm going to make good on it. I thought it would be done a lot sooner than it is, because I thought it was only going to take me about a week to get these classes, but it ended up taking a lot longer because I didn't realize there were dried leaves that I was needing. But I mean, if I can do a couple more runs of that and get more dried leaves that way, I don't know if I can. I'll have to double check my quest. There's probably some ways I can get more dried leaves, getting 4-100 on some of the other dungeons maybe. But I mean, 15,000 dried leaves, that's gonna be a good minute. So I'm hoping that this tier list can be done within the next week or two at the latest. But I mean, it all depends on what kind of luck I have with dried leaves and how we can obtain them. That's what it's mainly going to come down to. But past that, I think that will probably about do it. I just wanted to share my victory to everybody, because I mean, it feels like a good damn accomplishment. It might not be to some people, but someone like me, it really definitely feels like it. And especially since I've been playing the game so long, to finally realize that, hey, I know what the hell I'm doing, it just feels like, I don't know how to fully explain it. But nonetheless, I obviously know that there's people for it, and I will probably start actually streaming some run-throughs for floor 100s without Eternal Dark to see how far I can get and see if I can actually do it. So that way, you guys can help me make some choices in the game, and we can see how far we can get working together. Another thing that I am planning on doing is, while we're doing it, it's just going to kind of be so that way we're also getting some content out while we're waiting on the stupid dried leaves. So that way, I'm actually going after dried leaves and not just sitting around on my ass doing jack shit. But also it gives me a way to be able to kind of play the game with and by your guys' side, and we can all build a character together. At least I think. Granted, I don't know how it'll work, because I don't know how the streaming app or how the streaming will really work from a mobile device. I've never tried the application I record with streaming capabilities, so I have no idea if it's going to skip around like the first time I did a recording, like that, I don't even remember what the hell the stupid thing was called, but it was something similar to that. And I did also screenshot this, and I want to show it for any of you who are interested. This is the kind of guy you're going to be fighting. So if you don't want to get to floor 100 and just instantly get popped, prepare for that. Because he's gonna be there. I don't know if he'll be level 1000 for you, just like he was me. But, I mean, the guy definitely is pretty damn scary. I mean, he had 99 barriers right off the bat, and as you could see his health stat in that screenshot, he was definitely not someone to be trifled with. The only reason why I killed him like I did, I personally think, is just because I had Blizzard as my main weapon, and because I was using ED. If I wasn't using Eternal Dark, I don't think I would have killed him. Hell, I don't even think I would have made it to floor 100, because with how fast those enemies climb up through levels, it almost would be impossible to hold Sagacity on you, which you need to be able to keep up with their damn levels. So, with that said, I think that's probably about it. If you would like to see that stream, let me know down in the comments. I will probably start doing them. Well, I will start doing them, I should say. And that way we can also build some characters together, you know, have some fun. I don't know. Anyway, that's gonna do it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.